Alright, hey guys, welcome back. Who have we got? I Am Raptor, Hardcore Jed, Spider Ass, and Hardcore Jed again. Hardcore Jed says, I did not hit her, I did not, it's not true, it's bullshit, I did not hit her, I did not. Oh, hi Mark. And Jelly Jam 123 says hi. Yo. Right, so first things first, this is a frame that I started painting last night, continuing on from the next one, so it's still in the early stages, and I've got this picture of my T-Rex which I'm currently going to be cutting out. So yes. And so I hope you guys are all okay today. I just realised that the green screen is being a bit funny up here. What is causing that? Do you know what? I might try and fix it, actually. Yo, the assassin, how we doing? Let me just see if I can fix that. Try and fix it with cardboard. Nope. There we go. Basically, I just shoved a big bit of cardboard behind it, so it's still a bit funky, but it's better than what it was. Anyway. I finally made it to one of your live streams, says Hardcore Jed. Yes, well done. About to play some Jurassic World Evolution, says the assassin. I'd love to be playing some more to Jurassic World Evolution. However, this cartoon, this animated series, needs doing. And so I'm finding this be much more intellectually invigorating. JellyJam123 says, the first video I saw was your Jurassic Park toy collection. Oh yeah, on my old channel. Yeah, a lot of people have seen that video. Seems to be a popular one. It was just trying to convince people to make the move to come over to Terradome. It's funny, I haven't watched that collection video of mine in some time. I think the last time I watched a bit of it when I was editing my top 10 favourite Jurassic Park toys video, which is on this channel, and I had clips from it. And I think I watched a little bit of it then, not the whole thing. But it's really weird to me because that was at a time, I believe, before even Jurassic Park. I think Jurassic Park 4 was announced at that time, but I can't remember if it was confirmed. Let's see. Hardcore Jed says, now I'm playing Fortnite, and I know a lot of people have been calling people mentally disabled children for this, but it's just a game. Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I've heard of Fortnite, I've never played Fortnite, and so are people calling each other mentally disabled children for playing Fortnite? I don't know. I wouldn't worry too much about playground politics. It's existed throughout all of time. You know, playground politics has basically bled over into real politics, and that's where it gets really confusing. So I'm cutting this T-Rex out because I need to change the angle. Jelly Jam 123. I actually tried to recreate the Velociraptor paddock, but it didn't go so well. What in Jurassic World Evolution? Right, now what do we do with this? We go invert, and then we get the saturation down. Put that here, and then I use the finger tool, the smudge tool, to basically come up with the scratches. Oh, in the toy version. Oh, you tried to recreate the was it the one from the film you tried to recreate? Or was it the one in my video that you were talking about? I've actually gotten rid of that raptor paddock from my collection video. I gave it to my 4-year-old nephew because he loves it. Like whenever he came round, he was like, "Can we get the raptor paddock out?" And then we'd get all he'd get all my dinosaur toys out, and he'd want to play with it. So I gave it to him. Oh wow! You tried to recreate the one from my video. That is cool. That was my friend Sam at the time. This guy called Sam, his dad, made that for us when we were kids. Well, he made it for Sam, and then we played with it. And then one day Sam didn't want it, and he gave it to me. And then now I've given it to my little nephew, who I'm babysitting next Tuesday. The detail on this statue doesn't have to be exactly right because it's going to be blurred because it's in the foreground. Okay, not looking too bad. I've changed my setup today, so I've got a little bit more room around me, and I've moved the mic so you shouldn't be able to hear the clicks of the mouse. I was re-watching back my live stream of Evolution when I played Isla Nublar, and the clicking was horrendous. I don't know how you guys put up with that. It was like all these noises. What do I want in the final Jurassic World movie, says Jelly Jam 123. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. And I think I think ideas I have for the next movie I probably can't talk about in all honesty. A good movie, there you go. I want a good movie. I've enjoyed the last two immensely, regardless of my involvement. I think the films themselves are really good. And so yeah, I'd like a good movie. Just simple as that. I just want it to be good. Cleaning up the glow on this. Got the light tool. Okay, now for that's on that layer here. It's on the T-Rex layer. That there we go. Yeah, so I was up painting this until like 1 in the morning last night. I was just trying to work out what the best angle for this shot would be. I was listening to the Avatar: The Last Airbender, or should I just say the Last Airbender soundtrack, the movie adaptation score of the cartoon series, which is an incredible score. Really good to paint to. Big Shark, the Master of Bricks 7580. Hello, welcome to the stream. Welcome to today's stream. Okay, now let's go to piano. Hardcore Jed said, dude, these Jurassic World toys are selling sky high. Really wish they had the Mosasaurus at my Target. Did you get any of them? The only Jurassic World toy from Fallen Kingdom I own, and Jurassic World toy, I didn't own any of the Hasbro ones, was the Herrera Soros, which I opened and I've glued shut for a Pterodome episode, so it's the only one. And I only wanted to own this one personally because of its ties to Jurassic Park the game, and plus I think it looks really cool, and it's going to inspire, like the design of this, like the way the jaw goes really far back, like this animal here is gonna, or this toy design here is gonna inspire a animal in Dino-Defenders. Egypticus free haircut. Yep. Bzz. All went. It'd been a while. I was looking scruffy. Jelly Jam 123. What is your nephew's favourite dinosaur toy? Do you know what? I will ask him this when I see him, because I don't know for certain. But I did get him the Thrash and Throw T-Rex from Fallen Kingdom, and he loves that thing. He loves that thing a lot. So I would hazard a guess that that's his favourite. But he hasn't actually ever expressed what his favourite toy, what his favourite dinosaur toy is. But I can see through his actions that he's really taken with that one. And I was super happy to to give him that. I bought him the Thrash and Throw T-Rex, the Stegosaurus, the big Stegosaurus, and the Owen figure and a Claire figure, and a gyrosphere. I got him the Claire 2-pack with Claire and the gyrosphere because he loves the gyrospheres. He thinks they're great, and he used to have this like. He's only 4, bless him, but he had this like box, and he was like turning the box into like a gyrosphere, and so I actually got him one. But he, you know, there's a lot of fans out there. I hear a lot of Jurassic Park fans out there in the world saying like, "Oh, what will the new generation of fans appreciate the older films?" I've got pictures. I was sending it to other Jurassic fans on WhatsApp. One day I walked in on the living room, and he had all his Stegosaurus toys out, and he had Owen and a few other a Jurassic World mercenary that he bought, and another character behind this like box, and then he had the Stegosauruses out in like the bushes, and then he was using the Claire figure as Sarah, and he was recreating the Stegosaur encounter scene from the Lost World. So I think the newer generations of fans are gonna appreciate the older films. Like I literally no doubts that, you know, Jurassic is this like all-encompassing, you know, series of movies, and then the newer generation are really embracing all the movies, not just Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom, but they're embracing, yeah, even the old ones. Oh, thank you, Egypticus. Rylu Ross, yo, welcome. Drawing from memory, like how I drew the piano in the previous frames. Still got the Avatar soundtrack in my head. I've got the Operation Genesis music playing in the background because, as I said on the last stream, like that's one of the things that I can have on in the background and it won't get flagged. Because it's a video game soundtrack. I think they've, you know, they've given the rights over to the streaming, and I'd love to put some other music on in the background. I might just see if I can, you know, find some royalty-free music and make a library of different stuff, so we can, whenever I do these live paints, that you can have different music in the background. But for now, you're just gonna have to put up with the Jurassic Park Operation Genesis soundtrack. Yeah, the Egypticus, the soundtrack to Evolution's really good. Yeah, maybe I could stream with that, maybe. If I can find, because they made it so you can play like a non-copyright version of the soundtrack. Royalty-free, basically. I wonder if I can stream with that. It's like almost atmospheric, though. Uncle Jed says, to be honest, I've got to give J.A. Bayona for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. At least he tried to make a good movie, and he's the type of guy that says, thanks for watching my movie, but no way in hell that's compared to Star Wars. I don't know what you mean by that. That makes no sense. What do you mean? But that, no way in hell that's compared to Star Wars. No idea. We no idea what you're saying there. It's confusing. First off, it's confusing because he didn't just try to make a good movie, he made a fucking awesome movie. Pardon my French. There we go. Alright, now what I'm going to do is add the oh shite, where did that go? Oh, it's the opacity's down. Whoa. Egyptica's free. There's like a 16-minute compilation of some of the songs in the game which I downloaded and listened to a lot until the proper soundtrack is released somewhere. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll probably release the full soundtrack. They tend to do that with a lot of video games, like later on down the line. Because Rian Johnson made fans hate Star Wars after The Last Jedi and makes everything in the movies canon. In the movie canon, says Hyperjet. Oh, so you're comparing J.A. Bayonna's reaction to people saying they didn't like his film to Rian Johnson. See, you're talking to the wrong guy. I have not been following Star Wars. The last Star Wars film I saw was Rogue One. I haven't seen Last Jedi. I haven't seen Solo, and I haven't been following Rian Johnson. I don't know what he's like. I did watch the Red Letter Media Plinkett review of Last Jedi though, and that was very funny. But yeah. Well, my childhood, Hardcore Jed says, don't watch... Oh, he's deleted it. I saw that. You said, don't watch Solo, save your childhood. It's like, well, my childhood was comprised of Jurassic Park. It wasn't... You know, Star Wars had a fleeting... I had a fleeting love of Star Wars. Very brief. When... more so around the time when Revenge of the Sith came out. That was when I was in my... early or like mid-teens, should I say, and I rather enjoyed Revenge of the Sith. I've watched it since, and I don't particularly rate it too highly now, but back then, yeah, you know, I was all about it for a while. But that was it. Like, I like the old trilogy. I used to watch the old trilogy more in my childhood, but then I didn't put all my chips into it. Like I didn't really care. I didn't care that people thought you know, episode 1 was like, you know, the coming of Satan or whatever, and I didn't particularly care that people thought the prequels were the worst things ever. Because I didn't particularly care. I just didn't. The Big Shark, the Master of Bricks 7580 says, Mattel has said that there are still more Jurassic Park Legacy toys that are coming out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what we like to hear. Wait, what did I just do? Oh, I've gone from Mac to PC, haven't I? So there we go. I think the leg is in the wrong place for the piano. I think this is meant to be like... There you go. Yeah, I'll pop it there. Looks pretty good there. I'm sure my my nephew will. Oh crap! Didn't mean to do that. I'm sure my nephew will enjoy some of the legacy figures. I'm thinking of picking up the Spinosaurus for him because he loves the Spinosaurus. Like he's all over that. And he's seen the legacy version. Like I've shown him pictures of it, and he's like he really wants it. So I'm thinking of like if he hasn't got it by Christmas time, that'll be his Christmas present. Will be the Spinosaurus, or if I can get it in the UK, I was thinking of buying him the Hunt for the Indominus set, which has the Mosasaur sub and the skeleton for the Indominus Rex. Actually, do you know what? I think that leg is too far over now. Gosh darn it. It should be like there. I'm still trying to find the Spinosaurus toy, says Big Shark. I went into... I don't know if I can show you this. So, let me see if I can show you this on the stream. Let me make myself bigger. Whoop. There you go. So I... My sister literally just put... Look. Oh, you're probably not going to be able to see it. You put... Are you going to see that? Charlie's new craze, it says, and he's got like a Fallen Kingdom thing. I don't know if you're going to see this, but I went into a shop in the UK and they had rows of them. I don't know if you can see that here. There's like there was like loads of Spinosauruses, like loads of them, and that shelf went deep. That shelf went like really far back. Yeah. So they had loads of Spinosauruses in there. That was literally like, when did I post that? That was on the 24th. So that was what, 7 days ago? Like a week ago. Going in a message. Good live streaming, Jack. Oh, let me move my... I just realised I'm still... What is going on with this? I don't get what... Because there's no creases in it. That's the annoying thing. I wonder if I can... This could upset the balance. Trying to work out what's going on with my green screen. Oh, I've made it worse. Oh god, yeah, I've made it really worse. What's going on here? Yeah, I need it to be out like that. Maybe I can use... What's going on? I don't know what's causing that, because there is literally nothing on there. Unless it's this that's causing it. But... Oh, it might be the reflection of the light on my arm. Let me just see if I can change something. Okay, I don't think that's going to work. Irritating. Unless I just, alt and do that. and then move myself over this way and just turn the camera. There we go. That's a little bit better, isn't it? Let me get back to photoshopping. So what were you saying, Rilo Ross? It depends on the perspective, actually. If I was supposed to see the piano straight on or a bit to the side. Yeah, it's meant to be just like slightly to the side based on this area here. But I think, because I've just roughly sketched this at like 1 in the morning last night, so I think it's just about getting the legs right. I think this one. Okay, why are you not cutting it out? Yeah? Well, grab that. There we go. Yeah, that just needs to be slightly over. You're not really going to see the piano in this shot anyway, because there's going to be a character standing in front of it. So, like a lot of the sort of more you know, I'm not overly too fussed about it because there's going to be a character stood in the way, so. Yo, Michael Farm, welcome, welcome. The only legacy figure I have is Alan Grant and the Baby Rex, says Big Shark. Pretty good. Pretty damn good. Hey, that's pretty good. Go. And then I'll just add the light from the tank hitting the side. Hardcore Jed says, still trying to look for that damn Mosasaurus. Check local targets, 10 out of stock, and they don't know when they're shipping them in. You should try on Amazon. Amazon or heck, if you're near LA, go to Universal Studios. They had loads inside the gift shop. I saw loads there when I was there not too long ago. I just realised I've forgotten to send myself something, so I need to frame it. Private quarters. Yeah, I probably no. Trying to think if I need to move that table across. You know what, I probably will. I'm gonna grab the table and move it. Or the desk, should I say. Use the characters standing there to be... Oh no! Ah! You bugger. What is going on with this? See, there's buttons on my stylus, there's buttons on the actual, if I can show you, there's buttons on the actual pad. And they all do different things, and it's like, I accidentally clicked the wrong thing and the mouse decides to lock into place what it's doing, so then I have to use the actual mouse, which I've got here, to find out to find the right mode that I'm looking for. All trial and error. I'm still learning because I got this this new drawing pad for Christmas last year, and relatively speaking, I haven't used it as often as I probably should. So I think when I'm cutting out, I should use the actual mouse because it's much easier. See, now that looks really close to the window. However, if I cut that out and make that a separate layer, and then change the perspective, and I will get back to looking at the chat in 2 seconds. Yeah, like so, and tilt it. There's going to be a character stood here anyway, so and then I can go to this layer and just basically rub out the remaining desk, and then push this desk out more. Let's see what you're saying. Yeah, Hardcore Jet, don't pay sculptors or scalpers, whatever they're called. Yeah, you don't need to pay those. For the Mosasaurus toy. I'd say find a Jurassic Park fan who's bought like 12 of them, you know, and then ask them nicely. Just be like, look, you've bought 12 of them for yourself. You know, you don't need to own that many mosasaurs. You know, find someone who's bought a Mosasaurus. The person who's got one to keep in the box and one to open, and then they have a third one because hey, it was just there, and ask them if you can buy the third one, and say from one Jurassic fan to another. That's what I would do if I was you. If I desperately wanted it, I'd just look for a fan. I'd just be like, oi, you don't need that many. Don't be so greedy. Give me one. I'll pay you for it. Egypticus Free found a fallen kingdom behind the scenes image of Owen tracking Blue in the jungle and walking past the skeleton of a big crocodile along the creek. Guess crocodile somehow made it to Nublar? I want to see this image. Where's this image? What do I have to Google? What do I have to do? What do I have to do to find it? Right, so then what I wanted to do with this is actually take the background, zoom out, zoom out a little bit more. Yeah. That one. Just sort of trying out a new angle. So it looks a bit messy at the moment, but we will get there. Speaking of scalpers, says Michael Tharm, I saw Maisie figure on eBay for 50 quid. Over the weeks it's gone down to 40, greedy beggar. The thing is, I just don't get it. Surely what the scalper should be doing is scalping the really rare old figures while they're going cheap. And then, you know, while everyone's obsessing with the Fallen Kingdom toys, they should be scalping out the really rare old ones. while no one's concentrating on them. Riley Ross, got to go, won't annoy you anymore today, continue your great work. Thank you very much, I hope you had a good day, or I hope you have a good day. Really appreciate you coming along. I hope you've enjoyed what little of the stream you've seen. Big Shark, the Master of Bricks, asks, what Jurassic Park novel character would you like to see on the big screen? Levine, or yeah, Levine. Richard Levine. I want to see like a douchey paleontologist. I mean, we did have Burke. One could argue Burke was the. What's going on with this? Yeah, one could argue that Burke was the douchey paleontologist that we saw. I want like one that has like an intellect similar to Malcolm's, that has that kind of over exaggerated personality. Who always thinks, or like who's always debating the ethics. The Malcolm paleontologist. That's what I'd like to see. Oh, Ed Regis is a great pick. You know, saying that, like, I picked Levine, but like when I wrote my fan script for Jurassic Park 4, Ed Regis was my main character. He was, you know, working for InGen, and he wanted to, you know, do something right. And I actually had him as the main character, so there is that. There is that. There we go, I've got a better perspective now of the let's move the piano, let's just make sure this is right. Yeah, his Ed Regis's death scene in the book is something I'd like to see put to the screen, especially like the idea of like a young adult T-Rex toying with its food. Okay. Now I just need to do something. Here it is. So I have with me on the wall. Stuck it to the wall. I have the background from the last one that I painted. Oh, it's like it's green screened out the bit that I'm gonna use. I'm gonna take a photo of that, of the plants I drew, and then email it or dump it into my folder, and then I can pop it in and use it as reference, because I like the painted look of the background, and I wanted to start doing that more in this series, is actually having more like painted, well, inspired by painting backgrounds. So because I was watching like Field of what is it, not Dreams and Madness, the documentary for Studio Ghibli, and I was watching the making of Treasure Planet by Disney and Sleeping Beauty. And they have like all the painted backgrounds, and I was like, oh, do you know what? I think I might start doing that in some of the frames, or maybe quite a lot of them. So like what you'll watch today, you'll see me like be painting this background, and then what I'm gonna do is I'll remove all the characters like this, and then I will take a picture, and then I'll paint this with watercolors, and then I'll add like a painted layer to it, and the piano. What was I doing? Oh yeah. Big Shark says, I hope they make the Red Rex toy again for the old fans. I also want to see it, mate. And also may see it in Jurassic World 3. If they brought the Red Rex to life on film, that would be amazing. Okay. Whee. There we go. Right. So that should be uploaded. Should be. Oh, there we go. Uploading. There we go. I just took a photo of the photo. And now what I'm going to do is cut this out. And then use it as like a basis for adding it to the shot, and then having why is that not working? Duplicate layer. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's working. Do you know what? I should just move this into here. Whoa, that's a big image. That's a spicy meatball. My word. I feel like sometimes I press a button and then it jumps to something else. I don't know if I'm just going crazy, but I swear I clicked the... I wish I could watch... I'll probably watch it back on the stream. I swear I clicked the erase tool and then it jumped to the paint tool. You wish the Mercs had names in the film, Big Shark. Which Mercs? Are you talking about the ones in the opening of Fallen Kingdom? Or do you mean like for the action figures of Fallen Kingdom? Because they have that like generic Merc. They're basically the cannon fodder for your dinosaur toys. Yo, Clayton says, "What's up, dude? Stopping by to say hi. Currently editing today's comic video." Nice. Nice. What was the last video of yours I watched, Clayton? Let me see. I think I'm up to speed. I could be wrong though. Let me just see. So I'm up to the difference between Robert Muldoon and Roland Tembo, which was a great video. I've yet to watch why the Spinosaurus might appear in Jurassic World 3. That's where I'm up to with your videos, and I will watch that later once the stream is over. The tech merc who was eaten by the Mosasaurus was named Jeff. Okay, that's definitely got to be a planned Jeff Goldblum, right? There's no way he was named Jeff for any other reason. Hey Clayton, I was thinking the other day of getting you in Dino-Defenders, like having a character who I who I model off you, and then have a kick-ass scene where you're like wrestling a dinosaur or something. But obviously, I'd need your permission. I was just thinking that'd be really funny. Have you as a character in the series. There's like a cameo. Yeah. It's like a cameo, you come in and you do something. And you'll be like the only credit, like cast, and it'll say like Clayton Fioriti playing, I don't know, Clates, Sergeant Clates, or something. But you'll be like the only credit. Everyone else is like not real. I'll model it off your bodybuilding days, yes. Okay, so this basically we've cut this out. He could be the pizza guy that comes to the door and says, "Here's your pizza, but I'm also a gym instructor." Yeah, my favourite student is Kelly Malcolm. I taught her everything she knew. I think that's actually from this level, the white down here. There you go. I wonder why there was like loads of white at the bottom. I should probably name this. What's this? That's the desk. And these are the plants. And I'll call that plants 1. Call that background. And water. Well, there's a helicopter pilot at the beginning of Dino-Defenders who you haven't seen yet. Like, you've seen one of the guys turn their heads around. But the other person in the chopper was actually, they had their back turned. So maybe, Clayton, you can be a helicopter pilot, a la Kurt Russell in The Thing or something. Right, where's the piano? There. Okay, and then I just basically use the watercolours that I did yesterday to draw out the rest of this plant. But because I've used watercolours, I can emulate the right colours. There's a hunter from the Lost World who's in Jurassic World as an InGen Merc. Which guy is that? I've heard that before. Which guy is that again? You'll have to remind us. Does he look different? Is he playing the same character? Because if he was playing the same character, that'd be kind of cool. It's the dude that goes, "Hey Carter." Oh yeah, him. Yeah. Who does he play? Is he the guy who gets eaten by the raptor in the back of the? Ah, okay. Okay, well, in canon, let's say that's the same guy. You heard it here first, folks. That's the same guy. Why not? He survived the events of Isla Sorna. He wasn't phased too much. Then he went under a new contract for InGen when Jurassic World was being built. And then eventually he met his demise when Delta, I believe that's Delta, isn't it, that jumps in the back of the... That is Delta who runs into the back, jumps into the back of the truck, isn't it? He's a Lockwood clone. Do you know a piece of Jurassic tech that I don't hear many people talking about? Which would be quite interesting actually to talk about, considering we've got the new Predator film coming up. But the obviously Stan Winston designed the Predator, didn't he? And came up with the robotic nature of the gun on the shoulder, like looking around wherever the characters look. In The Lost World, when they're walking through the rain and Roland Tembo's giving his whole Everest speech, if you look at Dieter Stark in the background and a few other of the InGen Mercs, they've got these torch shoulder cannons, and when they look, the torches look wherever they look. So you have this the Predator technology that Stan Winston used in The Lost World. It's like they got these like floodlight torches on their shoulders, and wherever the characters look, they look. It's like one of those little tiny pieces of like InGen tech that I rarely hear anyone talk about, and I always think it's really cool whenever I see it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's like the Predator's weapon. It's like the Predator's shoulder cannon. In the script, Roland was going to put those on along with Malcolm before the ending moved to San Diego. Michael Tham, I wonder if they bought them from Wayland Yutani. Egypticus Free says, I don't think they're moving on their own. I think they just move when their shoulders move. I'll have to check. I could be wrong, but from memory, I think they move and look wherever the characters look. I mean, it's not too hard to imagine InGen having like a motion tracking or a head tracking system in place on the torches. Yo, Jurassic123, welcome to the live stream. Howdy ho! I'm just going to copy. What's also funny is it's the I forget the actor's name now who played Carter, because he owns the stunt team and they worked on Predator 2, and so most of the InGen mercs that you see in the Lost World are in Predator 2, like the same guys. Thomas Rosales Jr., that's his name. Yeah, Egypticus, yeah, they do, don't they? They move wherever Dieter's looking. Like, it's just the Predator shoulder cannon. They've just retooled it to be in the Lost World, and it's interesting because there's also another Predator connection, because as I just said, the stunt team who are in the Lost World, who's directed by Thomas Rosales Jr., who plays Carter. He owns the stunt team. They worked on Predator 2, and if you watch Predator 2, most of them are in that film. There's the guy with the long hair. Carter's in it, obviously, himself. Clayton Fioriti. Fun fact, in a weird comic adaptation, Dieter Stark returns with a horrible facial scarring. Which comic is that? Is that the adaptation of just the adaptation of the Lost World? Because if so, I have not read it. The comics are something that I've read some of, and I recently had a load donated to me by Bam Sam after we watched Fallen Kingdom at the Waterloo in London at the BFI IMAX. He gave me a load of comic books. They're actually in the box right next to me. But the thing is, it's the microphone. Let me see if I can get them out. And I'll show you. I'm going to put the microphone right in front of me. I'm just going to pause painting for a second. Just zoom out so I can see. Looking good. Ooh, I wonder what this looks like on green screen. Dee-dee-dee-dee. It's the Ghost Car Mark II. Look at that. It's the ghost of Eddie Carr coming back. Where are my legs? Where are my legs? Clayton says it's not a comic, it's something of a big universe thing with a ton of different IPs. He plays one of the main villains. What? A big universe thing? What is that? Ooh, I'm just interested in what the Lost World stuff looks like now on green screen. Look at that! Look at that book. It's just the logo. That looks pretty cool. That's like a Predator. It's the Predator of Lost World books. That. That's funny. Oh, this would be quite good as well. What does this look like? Yeah, okay. Jurassic123 says, "Oh man, I was sculpting a Brachiosaurus out of clay, and the head was hard to make." Yeah, you need to set the eyes high. Yeah, so Sam donated me like a load of Jurassic Park comic books, and the original ones. So we've got obviously this one, which the cover's going to be all compromised because of the green screen. Look at the back. Look at the back. They're out. It's got all the toys. Oh, it's green screening out the yellow logo. That's weird. But these comics have not just Jurassic Park in them. Some of them have like different comics in them as well. Yeah, you got this one here, and I believe, yeah, these are all just adaptations of the film. And then when we get to this one, we have so you have where is it? So you have the Jurassic Park comic book up until Tim gets fried, and then you know, you've got a little bit about the movie. And then it goes into Zeozonic Tales, which I believe is Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Which doesn't really have any dino. Oh, it does have a dinosaur in it. Cool, look at that. That guy gets thrown out of the window. Dinosaur throws him out of this high-rise building. And so then in the later ones, yeah, they all seem to have like the extra of Cadillacs and Dinosaurs in it. So you've got like more. Yeah, you got like the Jurassic Park comic books, but then you got other ones in there as well. Which is funny because you'd think, well, I mean, I guess they're all done by Dark Horse, but you'd think they'd be in competition with each other. And then you've got too many bits of paper around me. This one, which actually is, you know, the beginning of Raptor, the Raptor series, or the Return to Jurassic Park, sorry. And then again, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs is in this one. But then there's another comic book called The Age of Reptiles, which again is going to look compromised again, like I said. But you have like shots like this. So it's just dinosaurs basically being dinosaurs as a comic book. Oh, this is going to look really good, but it's going to be... Look at that. Very, very gory. Look at that. Look at that shot. It's like, grabs the tail and then it's like... But yeah, and then it goes into Return, which that raptor is completely gone. And then, yeah, and then basically it just goes into like all the other ones until eventually we get to the last one that Sam gave me was this one. But they all have like extra comic books in them, not just Jurassic, which is fascinating. And I was thinking maybe I'll make a video in the future on them or something. Ooh, I wonder what this looks like on the green screen. Yeah, look at that. cuts out the T-Rex almost perfectly. Alright, back to work, back to work. Ooh, I wonder what this mug looks like. Oh, it's like kind of cut out. And here we have the legit InGen list next to me, which we'll find out more soon. We'll talk about more in a future video coming up about the old DPG. I've got here the Jurassic Park 3 box set, which I've done a video on. But in this is my ticket to the premiere in Los Angeles to Fallen Kingdom. My ticket to the Madrid premiere, which was a gorgeous ticket. I mean, it's got that, and my wife came with me, so we have two, but it's all in Spanish, as I noted online. So we've got two, so I'm going to frame those alongside the ticket to the LA one. What else have I got in here? I've got loads of stuff. A Shin Godzilla poster. That should probably come out. I'll put that over there. And then you've got like this cool Jurassic Park 3 frame, which I don't know if you're going to see, but that's got like a... you're not going to see it on there, but it's got like a frame of the T-Rex Spino fight. And you got this foil raptor card, but it feels like it might be a sticker, which I think looks really cool. And then you've got a certificate of authenticity with Larry Franco and Kathleen Kennedy signing the bottom. And then you get these two like storyboard cards. Which are really nice. And then you get the DVD, which you have to use this little tape to pull the DVD out, and then it's like this foil box. I'd say hardcore Jurassic Park 3 fans should pick this up, because this is like one of those rare collection things where it's like you know, not Jurassic Park has few special edition like DVD stuff, and you know, for the film that a lot of fans consider to be the worst, this is a good set. Like, this is a really good set, and I highly recommend it. So, anyway, enough of all that nonsense. Let's get back to business. Alright, back to the drawing. I was doing this, wasn't I? Anyway, what are you guys saying? Check your WhatsApp, Jack. I sent you Dita Start Guy. Apparently he was contracted by Dodson in 2008. So let's have a look, Clayton. I can see. But what comic book series is that in? If it's not a Jurassic Park one, what series was that a part of that Dita Stark's a part of? Because if that's like a different set of comics, I've never heard of them before. And I didn't realise Dita Stark had a different life outside of Jurassic Park. Yes, because a lot of the comics they do drag a lot of characters back from death. It's something called House of Hell. Wow, this is news to me. It's ringing a bell, but no. It's ringing a bell, but it's not at the same time. It's like, wait a second. I've seen that picture before. I didn't realise it was part of something else. I just assumed it was part of another like Jurassic Park comic book. Michael Pham, I own the graphic novel of Age of Reptiles, and I think when I was reading that segment, I noticed there was a few boards of pages missing from the Jurassic Park comic book entry, which was a nice surprise. Yeah, I think I remember reading some of the Age of Reptiles in like a newsagent's when I was a kid. Seeing the comic books on the shelves and not having the pocket money to get them. So I read them in the newsagents and then put them back. Which was not the best. House of Hell. See, this is what I love about the Jurassic franchise, is like you have to dig and you have to discover everything. It's like all mysterious. There's always something out there that like people haven't heard of. Jurassic 123 says, it may just be me, but I feel like The Lost World is almost as good as Jurassic Park. I agree. I think it's on par with Jurassic Park. I don't see. I mean, for all the flaws that people say The Lost World has, you can pull those same or similar flaws up with The Lost World. Sorry, with the original Jurassic Park. The people who will say like, "Oh, this doesn't make sense in The Lost World," you can easily find something in Jurassic Park that doesn't make sense if you really think about it. It's the nature of a lot of movies. But you're talking to a guy who considers Jurassic Park, The Lost World, Jurassic World, and Fallen Kingdom all on the same level. I love them all the same, all for different reasons. But I think they're all great. And Jurassic Park 3, I love. And it's found an even like a special place in my heart, considering the stuff that we wrote for the DPG. You know, I was really. It's my least favourite Jurassic Park film, but my God, have I fought to have it, you know, not ignored by the canon or anything. I've made sure that it's definitely, you know, fans of Jurassic Park 3 cannot ignore people who don't like Jurassic Park 3 cannot ignore Jurassic Park 3 thanks to what we've written on the DPG. And that's coming from the guy who considers it his least favourite of the Jurassic films. So it has a very special place in my heart. And like, the InGen list is one of those things where like, I can't believe that we got to write that sort of stuff. And I just hope that, you know, as things go forward, we get to do more. Egypticus 3, I think I'd rate the films 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's fair. You're rating them in like order that they come out. Clayton says, I've been going over the film criticism for all the films in the series. It's quite eye-opening, really, particularly with the original movie. I sent you the plot on WhatsApp. Okay. Let's have a look. What is House of Hell? So is this like a legit... What is this? I don't... I'm gonna have to look this up more, aren't I? House of Hell comic. Confusing. I will. Oh, it's a. Oh, okay. Okay, it's an RPG series. Okay. All right. I get you now. This is why I was like confused. I was like, how have I not heard of this comic book where Dieter Stark is like one of the characters and returns, and it has nothing, and it's not really anything to do with Jurassic. I was like, where has this been hiding? It's an RPG series, right? Okay. Now I know why I haven't heard of it. Jurassic 1, 2, 3. I have heard that Stan Winston wanted to make a Jurassic Park movie. How true is it? I'd say yeah, of course he wanted to make. I mean, obviously we don't know if he genuinely did, but the fact that he was a director, and you know, Jurassic Park is one of, if not his greatest achievement. Of course, I could very easily imagine Stan Winston wanting to direct a Jurassic. Funny thing is apparently, from what we understand, he did direct a deleted scene from The Lost World. There was the scene where Benjamin, the little boy, when he's looking out of his bedroom window, he sees the T-Rex in his back garden. And originally the T-Rex was going to burst his head through the window of his bedroom. And we don't really know what happened next, but like there's a picture of it online. And when we spoke to Matt Winston on the podcast, some years back now on the Jurassic Cast podcast, he said that the guy who played Benjamin, the little boy, said, not Matt Winston, sorry, said that he remembers it being Stan Winston who directed that scene. I believe it was the guy who played Benjamin, or it was Matt Winston who confirmed it. And we did a little bit of digging, and we had an email back that said that it was, you know, believed to have been Stan Winston who directed that scene. So technically, out there somewhere is probably footage that Stan Winston did film that was a scene of from The Lost World. Clayton says, it's really weird. He fights Roland Tembo, kills Nick Van Owen, and a character from the Return to Jurassic Park comic both make an appearance. RPGs. RPGs are fun if you're playing them like with friends, like in real life, like playing them. I don't get when people play RPGs in like forums online. I've never understood it. I mean, I guess it's just fun, but I've never fully understood it because I don't really see forums being a good role-playing place. But they must be for people who enjoy it, so I shouldn't really knock it. I mean, technically I'm role-playing now. I'm coming up with this whole world for this cartoon. So who am I to judge? Right, let's grab plant. Where is it? There it is. Clayton says, if I remember correctly, he gets attacked by a Velociraptorix. Baby raptors nibble him as he dies, saying something like, same shit, different day. That's great. I can imagine Peter Stormare saying something like that. Same shit, different day. Oh, okay. You have to go. Jurassic 1 to 3. I'll see you later. Thank you so much for coming to today's stream. I hope you've had fun. I hope you've enjoyed the conversation. Okay, right. We have some plants. They should have shown Dieter's corpse when they found him in the Lost World, says Big Shark. It would have been very gruesome. Just the parts they didn't like. I think it's like you hear what happened to him, and I think that's enough. Like when you hear like they left the parts they didn't like, I think that's all you need. You don't need to see it. It's like more horrific, like because you think of like what parts would a compy not like. Just the parts they didn't like. Map. Clayton says he probably looked like Michael Biehn in Alien 3. Good God, yes. What about how you see him in the extended cut, in the assembly cut, where you see like his jaw all malformed and stuff? Right, let's add back in the T-Rex, then add in Wesley. I'm just gonna fix up this part of the roof. There you go. No. There we go. Oh, that's the version you meant. Egypticus says, it is more scary hearing Roland describe Dieter's corpse than actually seeing him. Imagination is sometimes better. Yes, I agree. I agree. Okay, so let's see about opening up the example. So how far? This table's actually a little bit further away, isn't it, than what you would see in this shot. However, there is a tube thingy. So I'm going to put one of those in. Got to find which. There it is. Ooh. just call that plants again. Well, I want a full Lost World extended edition with deleted scenes in it. Yeah, I'd like to see that. I think that'd be pretty cool. I can't guarantee. I wouldn't be able to guarantee. Well, I wouldn't, but like, I don't know if they could guarantee that it would actually be a better movie. So it's like with the Alien series, the first two cuts of Alien, the original one and then the director's cut, they're both fantastic. And same with Aliens. There's some people out there who argue that the Aliens director's cut actually drags the film out a little bit more, and it ruins some of the mystery because you see, like, you know, Newt's parents getting face hugged. Whereas, like, in the original Aliens, the mystery kind of was like, is obviously you know Ripley's going to be right when they return to LV-426, but you don't know for certain until you're there. And like the same could be said for the whereas like the extended version of Alien 3 tends to get a lot more praise for being a lot better than the theatrical version. But yeah, well, you never know. An extended version of The Lost World might make the film worse, for all we know. Egypticus 3 says there seems to be. It seems they cut a lot more in Fallen Kingdom. There's heaps of stuff. Yeah, I saw some stuff being filmed that didn't make the film. Michael Thurm says that's why we pick and choose. Yeah, I mean, there was, as Clayton says, there was 40 minutes cut from Fallen Kingdom. I mean, I think a film, if Fallen Kingdom had been like 2 hours and 45 minutes, as Egypticus 3 is suggesting, I don't know if that would have been good. Like, just because like the pacing would have been all off. I mean, I'd welcome an alternative cut of that on DVD, don't get me wrong. But whether that makes the film good or not is another argument, because like there's another debate to be had, because it's like pacing and everything. I think the pacing of Fallen Kingdom with the whole volcano like as a ticking time bomb is really good, because it like makes you feel rushed. It's like, oh god, get off the island, or you know, you've got it's like a, yeah, like I said, a ticking time bomb. You can't just slowly saunt your way across the island. It should be looked at as like as a rush. Like, oh my god, we've got to, you know, get the job done quick. Clayton, so wait, you guys are having a conversation. Egypticus 3 says, I don't think there was much deleted from The Lost World. Fallen Kingdom has heaps of behind the scenes images that aren't featured at all. Then Clayton said, the boardroom scene, Roland's bar fight, Baby's broken leg, Ludlow's death, RJ's death, extended game trail scene, Kelly asking Ian to marry Sarah, and extended San Diego. They also cut the conversation on Gambler's Ruin that we've got stills of. Don't forget, there's the shot of Nick Van Owen cutting the fuel lines to the hunters' vehicles. There's all that. I don't know if there's. I would hazard a guess. If I was to hazard a guess, I'd say there's probably about, and I could be. I'm just. This is the ballpark guess figure. I'm gonna guess there's about up to 20 minutes cut from The Lost World. I can't imagine there's too much more than that, because a lot of them are going to be like little tiny scenes, not so much big extended stuff. Whereas I think with Fallen Kingdom there was, you know, whole scenes basically. Well, I think there's more with Fallen Kingdom that was cut. Let's just put it that way. But But yeah. Yo, Jacob Arnold, welcome to the live stream. And the extended bit where Sarah says, "Isn't this great?" with the stegosaurs. Yes, yes, that is true. She does say that. But yeah, if it was like a guess, or like if we had to bet, my money's on Fallen Kingdom for more deleted scenes than The Lost World, though. That's where I'd place my money. But that said, I know a little bit more from Fallen Kingdom than I do The Lost World, truth be told. So, but then again, I don't know. I wasn't there for the production of The Lost World, so I could be wrong. I could be wrong. There could be loads from The Lost World that we don't know about. I mean, what do you consider, like, did they film any... I don't know if they would have, but do you think they filmed any of the jumping off the cliffs for the end of The Lost World? Because they obviously were preparing for it before they moved to San Diego. Fallen Kingdom, says Egypticus Free, has extended Maisie scenes, Mills and Gunner, extended Owen Trail, Dead Stegosaur and Brachiosaur, extended Bunker, extended Wu and Mills, Indominus and Mosasaur's Eye, Carnotaurus extended. Carnotaurus extended? What was extended with the Carnotaurus? Remind me. I may have just merely forgotten. And Jacob Arnold, hey Jack, if you could go back in time and save the T-Rex chicks. Hey Jack, if you could, would you go back in time and save the T-Rex chicks from Walking with Dinosaurs? No. No, I wouldn't. And Clayton, yes, extended DPG scenes as well, yes. Those were the ones that I know about. That I saw. Egypticus Free says there's a shot in the trailer of the Carnotaurus charging at Owen, which doesn't happen in the film. Oh yeah, yeah. I think there's some things like that that might just be, and this is speculation, I don't know if this is true, but that might have just been like done for the trailer, not necessarily was like, what might not have necessarily been, you know, done for the film. Clayton says, I wonder what they filmed for Jurassic Park 3 that no one has ever seen. The script was never completed. Probably totally separate plot points. Now you're talking. See, I think Jurassic Park 3's deleted stuff is more interesting because they must have shot a lot more than what we've seen in the film. And plus the deleted scenes for Jurassic Park 3 tend to be a little bit more elusive. I mean, the first film has very elusive deleted scenes, but I think the... yeah, Jurassic Park 3's... I'm more interested in Jurassic Park 3's deleted scenes, mainly because then I think they have the potential to fix the film more than, you know, what the Lost World's deleted scenes have the potential to do. If you understand what I mean. Like, if you added in the Lost World's deleted scenes, I can't say that would necessarily make the film better, because the film's already pretty good. But in my opinion, Jurassic Park 3 needs a lot of work, so like seeing the deleted scenes from that might be like, oh, there's an eye opener there. And Jacob Arnold, no, I have not watched Jurassic Park 3's YouTube poop called Alan Grant Has Gas, but I will definitely be checking that out because it sounds hilarious. Gypticus 3, there is an extended scene with Mills and Maisie, and I saw a shot of her on the ground staring up at the Archaeopteryx skull in the mansion. She was... I can't even pronounce that dinosaur. She was also wearing a toy dinosaur tail if you look closely. Hmm. I want to see how I did the plants in the last frame. Let's have a look. Jacob Arnold says, "Hey Jack, what do you think of YouTube poops?" I think they fill YouTube up with a lot of, no pun not really intended, but a load of crap. However, Durnham Rocks, his YouTube poop videos of King of the Hill are hilarious. So I'd be lying if I said I didn't like them. Because, like, I don't like a lot of them because I think a lot of them are poorly edited, but I think a lot of the, I mean, deliberately poorly edited. But there's some really funny King of the Hill ones by Durnham Rocks out there, which are some of the top class YouTube poops, if I do say so myself. Gypticus 3 says, and yes, I read a magazine stating the giant ceratopsian skull in Lockswood Mansion was an Arjuj I can't even say that now. Aguceratops skull. Clayton says, would it be possible for Trevorrow to have access to deleted footage from older movies, possibly for some sort of special franchise release? I have no idea. I don't know how it works. I know fans would love to see deleted scenes from the first 3 films. I can't imagine, from the way I know that you know, from what I know how things work, I think you'd have to go to Spielberg, not Trevorrow. I think that would be Spielberg's doing. And then, even then, you would kind of have to convince Spielberg that there's a market to release it. But then again, he's very particular over, you know, what he wants to show the public. I think, like, a lot of directors, you know, they don't want to show deleted scenes because they were deleted for a reason. And I think, like, a lot of, you know, you show deleted scenes as like a kind of what if scenario. And I feel like with Jurassic, there's a I get the feeling, this is speculation, but I get the feeling Spielberg doesn't want to show like any deleted scenes because he's like, yeah, you don't need to. The film's a success. Like, what? And it's only like a select few hardcore fans who are that desperate to see like the what ifs of Jurassic. So, I mean, I'd like to see it. I'm not gonna lie. But my guess is like, you know, they don't want to like show the what ifs. Ruins the magic in a way. Jacob Arnold, hey Jack, have you played Super Mario Odyssey? No, I have not. And P.S. Are you more nostalgic for the 80s or the 90s? I'm more nostalgic for the 90s because I grew up in the 90s. But then again, I'm not really I mean, I'm creating a show called Dino-Defenders Extreme, which is to tap into that like old 90s style of cartoons. But for me, nostalgia isn't just about seeing something that you saw nostalgia for me, the way nostalgia works is when you look at something you haven't seen in years and it triggers the memory, and you're like, but you've forgotten that you had that memory in there, if you know what I mean. So like when you watch something you haven't watched in years, you're like, so a good example, the other day me and my wife sat down and we watched Basil the Great Mouse Detective, which is the Disney film. She'd never seen it. I used to have it on VHS when I was like a kid, and I hadn't seen it since then. So when watching it, there was these little moments in the film that I was like, oh my god, I remember this happening, and I was like, oh my god, I had this memory of this, and then it answered a few things like, oh, that's where I'm getting that from, and this, that, and the other, and that's what I would call nostalgia. I think I don't get nostalgic when I watch things like Stranger Things, just because a kid has like a Thing poster on the wall, I don't get it. I don't even get nostalgic over Jurassic Park because, to me, I haven't ever left Jurassic Park. I haven't got that feeling of like going back because I've never left the franchise alone. So I don't really get nostalgic for it. Like when, for a good example, when Zack and Gray go back into the visitor center, I didn't get nostalgic because I can understand why other people would get nostalgic over that scene. Like, people who aren't familiar with Jurassic that much, and they're like, oh yeah, look, it's the visitor center. Or it's like, oh look, there's the old Jeeps that they used to drive. I get where they're coming from, but for me, I don't get nostalgic over it because I'm just like, I live this stuff every day, and so I'm never away from it enough. And to me, that's how nostalgia works for me. But it works differently for other people. But I would say if I had to pick out those two eras, yes, I'm definitely more nostalgic for the 90s because I grew up in the 90s over the 80s because I was born in the very later part of the 80s, and thus I don't have really any memories of the 80s. I was born in the late 1988, so there you go. I hope that answers your question clearly and concise. What else are you saying? Clayton says yes. I've got some nostalgia for Basil as well. Peg leg bat. Yep, that's the one. See, I'd forgotten that character, the bat with the peg leg, was even in the show. I'd completely forgot that he was in, not the show, the film. I'd completely forgotten that he was in it until I saw it, and then I was like, oh yeah, I remember this character. Okie doke. Just gonna go into the piano and add a black line going around. Okay, see you later, Clayton. I'll check out your videos later. Good luck with the edit. Okay, right, let's get this done. Okay, so I probably won't be streaming for much longer now, guys. Some other things I want to do today. What's the time? Okay, 3:15. Yeah, so I'm probably going to end it once I've finished doing the shadows on the floor. Jacob Arnold asks, "Hey Jack, do you know anyone who was in World War II? P.S. If you were alive in..." You don't have to keep writing P.S. dude, you can keep asking the questions. If you were alive in the 1940s, would you have served in World War II? And P.S. again, what do you think of the 80s? Okay, so I don't know anyone who was in World War II anymore. They've sadly passed. And if I was in the 1940s, I guess I would have fought in World War II, which is not a really nice thought either way, even though it was for like the right reasons. So it's not really a thought that I toy with too much. I think, like, you know, the moral thing to do would be to fight. So yeah, I'd like to think I would do the right thing and go, you know, stop the heinous crimes that were happening. Or at least fight for it. And what do I think about the 80s? I think it was a decade. I think it was a decade that people grew up in, and there's a lot of nostalgia for it right now in pop culture, because the people who grew up in that era are of the age where they're creating stuff that is, you know, taking them back to that time, and a lot of the consumers of a lot of pop culture, you know, will watch stuff like Stranger Things and that'd be like, oh yeah, that's what it was like in the 80s or something. But I'll say this, I think, like, when people emulate the 80s, they never get the hair right, because you can't, because they're too afraid to have like a character look ridiculous, or they at least think they look ridiculous. I mean, you watch Aliens now, and like Ripley's hair in the beginning of Aliens is fantastic, but then they'd never. Yeah, they'd never do that now. Okay, let's get this shadow down. I don't know. I don't know what the SOE is. I don't know much about World War II aside from the broad stuff. So I can't really comment too much on that, I'm afraid, dude. Control V. Probably just darken that a little bit before I blur it. Have you ever played Battlefield 1 or Call of Duty World War 2? I've played Modern Warfare 2 when it first came out, which I enjoyed at the time. I probably wouldn't enjoy it today because my tastes have changed. And I played the Nazi zombies stuff in Call of Duty when that first came out, the very first Nazi zombies. I've even done a live stream of that. A nostalgic live stream with my friend Will, because we used to play the Nazi zombie levels a lot back in the day. And I own Battlefield 4? Is it Battlefield 4? I own one of the Battlefields for PlayStation 3 that I used to play a little bit when that first came out. But I'm not so much into war shooters. I'm just, I don't find them that... Not really anymore. I like first-person shooters, don't get me wrong. But war shooters not as much as I used to. Let me just squash the desk a little bit because I think that's too. But there, like that. Yo, Jurassic 123, welcome back. I'm gonna be finishing the stream very soon. I'm just gonna finish just doing this desk, and then I'll be heading off. Get this blue. Get the blue lighting right on the desk. Alright, there we go. I don't know when I'll be streaming again, Jacob. Maybe on Sunday. Perhaps Sunday. Okay. Get the crud. Okay, so I think for today that will do. Do you know what? I think. Do you know what? I'll get rid of all of those light things on the ceiling, and I'll cheat. I'll cheat, guys. I'll cheat. I'll just steal them from this picture. Cheating. I'll pop that one there. Cheating. I don't know, would you call it cheating if I'm stealing from myself? And then grab that one again. Oh no. Just drag that in again. Pop that. Yeah, Egypticus, post that Fallen Kingdom image. I want to see that one of the crocodile. What you discussed, because that's the first I'm hearing of it. 'Cause that's the thing. Like we weren't told like what props or what specifics you're gonna see in the film. So. And Jacob Arnold says, "Hey Jack, what do you think of the nitpicky review of Fallen Kingdom?" I don't know which one you're referencing, so I can't comment on that. And also, do you think nitpicking is criticism? I don't know. I don't know if nitpicking is criticism, because there's nitpicks that are completely fair. And you're like, yeah, I get why you're nitpicking that. That's fair enough. So then it kind of validates that is a kind of criticism. And then there's other, you know, there's going a little bit too far where you're like, yeah, but what you're nitpicking really doesn't matter in the overall scheme of things. So I'd say nitpicking is a form of criticism. Whether it's a good form is another thing entirely. Because it all depends on what the nitpick is. And so I can't really say if nitpicking is I'd say it is a form of criticism, but yeah, whether it's a good form of criticism, as I've said, is you'd have to go into the specifics of what the nitpick is. Big Shark the Master says, the part my sister was pissed at was Wheatley being a dumbass. See, that's the thing. It's like Wheatley was dumb. He's a villain. he's meant to be stupid. So it's kind of like it's his character. His overconfidence is his undoing, which is almost the staple of a lot of movie villains. Even the best ones. You know, the Joker in The Dark Knight, he's overconfident because he's overconfident and he believes that the people of Gotham will blow themselves up, but he's wrong. They don't. And thus he's proven wrong, and then he has to resort to trying to blow him up anyway to make his point, and you know, then Batman gets the chance to take him out with his gauntlet things. his spikes on his gauntlet. There we go. Right, I finally got to the ceiling bit, and then put it like that. Right, so let me now merge some of these down. So tube, the piano, the desk, the plants. What's that layer? The shadow, the ceiling thing. That. So I'll merge these layers. Okay, so now we've got him as a layer, the dinosaur as the layer, which look at that mess behind there, and then the window is a layer and the door. Well, actually, the window layer and the door can actually that can be merged, and so now if I remove the window, the door stays there. Yeah, see you later, Egypticus. Good talking to you. Jacob Arnold says, "Hey Jack, what do you think of the nitpick in Fallen Kingdom when the tablet breaks, the doors don't keep closing?" it doesn't matter because it's just the way it was designed. And it's a flaw in the design, which is how the mosasaur gets out. So you might as well, like, anyone who doesn't like that, and that is a nitpick, because like you can nitpick Hammond for not putting locks on his tour cars. It's the same thing. It's like there's a flaw in the system, and Chaos finds a way to undo that flaw. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is stop the stream. Right, there you go, guys. I'm going to finish it for today. Here, we've basically created this background today, which I think is looking pretty darn good. So, anyway, I will see you guys Sunday. Sunday, I'll be doing a stream. I will do my best to get some videos. Well, I'm going to be making some more videos over the next week. I've got my new King Kong video coming out in the Kong Skull Island files, and I've got a new Black Sack episode in the works, so please look out for that. And if you can, as I always say, please, if you can, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and if you can, go help me out over at my Patreon at patreon.com/Uanzilla, as it says right there. Right. I think my fingers disappearing. Right there. There you go. And there. Click that link and go and support it if you want to. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed today's stream. Thank you so much for coming, guys, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.